Why am I Golden Gully, not the official ambassador of Miss Vicky's?
Oh, I don't know. You're going to have to ask Pepsi that.
So you don't own it?
No. We sold the business to Pepsi Frito-Lay, and we retired from the potato chip business to spend time with our children.
How do I contact Pepsi?
I think on the back of the bag there must be some kind of contact information. I'm not sure about that.
They never answer.
They don't? Oh my gosh, that's not good customer service, is it? I used to answer all of my letters.
It's all good. I am the unofficial ambassador of Miss Vicky's. Is that okay to say?
They're lucky.
Are they available anywhere else besides Canada?
Yes, they're available in the United States.
Anywhere else? Like in the world?
I'm not sure.
So
I'm not the official ambassador, so I don't know the answer to
I should know this then. I don't know. Do you like ketchup?
Not really.
Ah, yes. I don't like ketchup either. It's a bit too sweet for me for no reason. I'm more of a hot sauce
Sugar
kind of
and
guy.
ketchup.
Yeah, it's too sweet. Do you like hot sauce or no?
I like a salsa that is sort of medium hot, medium heat.
Salsa. Speaking of ketchup, they released a ketchup flavor. Have you ever tried this before?
No, I have not.
Could you make a video trying every Miss Vicky's flavor? We got it. We got a whole bunch for you soon. So yeah, I guess I have a question for you. How come every time I open up a chip bag, half of it is air? It's almost like I'm paying for air and chips.
Well, it wouldn't be air because air, if you take air from this room and put it in the bag, it'll make these chips stale. It's to cushion the product inside because the potato chips, you don't want to get them all, open the bag and find they're all crushed. So they puff the bag up so that you can actually put a bunch of chip bags one after the other in a box. Prevent breakage.
If it's not air, then what is it?
It's nitrogen.
So that's what they use as more of a cushion, I guess?
Yeah, it's a cushion, and you'll find it not just in potato chips, but in many products that are kind of delicate.
Oh, you said something about there being a Mr. Vickie. Who's that?
That was Bill. Bill and I lived on the farm in New Lowell, Ontario, Canada, and we grew potatoes. They were chip stock potatoes there. Everybody that worked with us always called him Mr. Vickie. So we decided to make a chip, and we made it hot Mr. Vickie's hot stuff, and they were our version of a jalapeno chip.
So Mr. Vickie, that was the original jalapeno chip flavor.
Yes, it was a little different than this.
But do you have the recipe to that?
Well, when we sold the business, we sold the recipes too. We sold the logo and we sold the recipes.
I guess we can just hope and try based off the ingredients list.
Well, it was a natural product because all the ingredients that I created at Miss Vickie's were simple. There was a no salt. It was 30% of our sales. There was the sea salt version. Then there was Mr. Vickie's.
So there were only really 3 flavors back in the day. Can we make Miss Vickie's at home?
You can make Miss Vickie's chips. You follow the recipe, you can make them at home, but it's difficult to get the curl because in the kitchen you're dealing with a small pot. It's not as accurate as we did on our farm, and so we had a big stainless steel kettle full of peanut oil. We sliced the potatoes directly into the oil. We didn't wash them first. We left the potato taste on the potatoes. If you do that at home, you can get close, but you can't get them completely the same because of the temperature drop is important in kettle chips.
So
But
we can only get close.
get close.
So we just got to keep buying. Where are the potatoes from?
Chip stock potatoes are grown in Canada.
Is that chip stock? What is that, sorry? CHIP?
Chip stock. It's just farmer talk. There are different varieties, different names of the varieties depending on where you plant the potatoes. If you're in Ontario or if you're on the East Coast or if you're down in Florida, they grow chip stock right across North America, and they're made specifically for processing potato chips because they're high in carbohydrates, high in starch, and they chip white.
Got you. So we used russet potatoes in the video that we just made. How close is this to chip stock, or is it not even the same?
No, it's not.
How do we get chip stock? Because I've never
If
seen
you know
it.
a potato farmer, you just drive up to their door.
I guess we gotta find some potato farmers.
Yes.
How do you make the chips so crunchy?
That is the temperature drop that we were talking about. If you put in a raw product and then the temperature drops down when the curve comes back up, time to take them out, and that's what gives them the crunch. And also, that's what they're talking about when they say kettle cooked, because you're cooking them in a kettle, one batch at a time. At least that's what I did. And you're stirring them around with a rake so that they don't stick together.
Is Miss Vickie's an expert cook as well?
I love to cook. I would rather be in the kitchen than doing probably anything else.
What do you like to make?
I like to make shepherd's pie in the winter when it's cold.
Who was the one or what actually inspired you to start a potato chip company? If so, whose recipe is this tracing back down to?
Okay, so
Oh wait, and they also said something about making a butter chicken flavored chips. Don't pay any attention to that. It's okay.
I'll try not to. So let me tell you the history of Miss Vickie's chips. So Bill and I lived on a farm in New Lowell, Ontario. We grew chip stock, and he sold his potatoes to, at the time, the company was Humpty Dumpty, and they were in Toronto. And he grew the chip stock, and he would take sample. We also stored them. We had potato storages on our farm, and that meant that after they came out of the field, you put them in storage, all nice and dry, and then you kept them through the winter until the processor wanted you to bring them in. So we had a tractor trailer. We would load them up, take them down. But before we did that, we'd take a sample down in the pickup truck, and the sample would go through the Hostess line, sample them to make sure that they were white enough to make the chips that they wanted. They liked white, white, white. And sometimes they would reject a load if it wasn't white, white, white. And so as a farm wife, I said, well, what's wrong with having a little color? And that's how that idea got started. They didn't want them. I did.